Hey friend, welcome back to Bible Tract Echoes. I'm Micah McCurry, your host. Thank you so much for joining me once again today. I have so greatly enjoyed this week of broadcasts, and I've enjoyed the responses that I've received as well. My prayer is that you will be challenged, that you will be committed more so to using tracts today and this week and in future than you ever have been before, because that's what we've been talking about. We've been speaking about hindrances to using tracts. It's very practical because as the director of a ministry that prints millions of tracts every year, we have a vested interest in people using tracts. Now, realize we print them, we produce them, we put them in boxes, we ship them around the world, most of the time for free. The vast majority of our tracts leave our building completely and utterly free. Yes, churches and organizations customize our tracts sometimes, and we do that for them for a small charge, and it costs much more to print a small run of custom tracts than it does large quantities, but they still cost money. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on the shipping and printing of tracts every year. How does that happen? It happens by the grace of God and the giving of God's people, but more precisely, how does that happen? It happens because people use our gospel tracts. The tracts do no one any good on the shelves of our warehouse, and that's why this week we have set aside the time to talk about hindrances. What is a hindrance? It's an impediment. It's an obstruction. It's something that precludes and pauses and stymies and suffocates motion. And we need to have a positive forward, a positive spiritual motion to our lives. We should not be an old bump on the log. We must move forward for Christ, onward and upward. And so, yes, we're speaking about why we use tracts, but we're speaking about reasons why we might not use tracts this week. We talked on Monday and Tuesday about self-confidence. We sometimes place so much confidence in ourselves, and it's misplaced confidence. We must be sure, we must be confident in Christ. He is the one that has sent us into the world. God has sent us to be his messengers in this place. We talked next about purity. When we are wrong with God, we're going to have a very hard time drawing people close to him. Heard a man say recently that our relationship with man will never be better than our relationship with God. And that's convicting to think about. The fact that if I mistreat or hurt or bear iniquity in my heart with God or towards God, I'll never be better equipped to have a relationship with man than I do with God. I wonder if that would change how much time we spend in prayer, how much time we spend reading his word. I was convicted recently. I spend a lot of time on the phone as the director of this ministry, not because I like talking to people so much as it's required. It's a requirement of the job. It should have been the first thing on the job description. If I showed you the hours and hours I spend, it's a good thing phones aren't attached to the wall anymore, because I pace when I'm on the phone and I would trip myself. But I was convicted not long ago. I speak often to people about the business of the ministry and scheduling different meetings, and I preach hither and yon, stateside and around the world sometimes, youth camps and missions conferences and revivals and rallies and different things of that nature, random Sundays here and there and special meetings and you name it, representing the ministry and preaching. But it would be a sad thing. I was convicted about this personally. If I spent more time talking to any individual person than I do talking to God. Now, in a day, certainly there are times when there's an hour and a half, 2-hour phone call that's necessary as we're discussing some finer point of the ministry of BTI. And what a sad thing it would be if in a week, if I added up all my time talking to anyone. You say, Brother Micah, you talk to your wife. Well, absolutely. I love talking to my wife. She's my best friend. She is, I tell her, being married to Rebecca is a lot of fun. She's wonderful. But if any relationship with man will never be better than my relationship with God, how much time do I spend talking to God? How much time do I spend talking to God about my relationship with Rebecca? Because if I want my relationship with Rebecca to be better with my wife, How is that going to happen? Now, we have a wonderful relationship. I love, as I mess with my girls, joke with my girls, I love you to the moon and back. But can I say the same for my God? How much do I love him? Because if 3 minutes in prayer over a meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is all I give him, that's not even the hindrance that I wanted to talk about today. But self-confidence, so send I you. Purity, we talked about next. And we talked about wisdom. Wisdom, it's the principal thing. It's my chief prayer request. When people ask me, what can we pray for? Well, we're sending tracts to Africa. We're sending tracts to Mexico and South America. We're working on gospel films all over the world and stateside and so many incredible projects. And as we remember the legacy of our founder, Dr. Paul Levine, we're working on projects with that as well. And we want to tell people about what's going on. But the principal thing is wisdom. That's what I pray for more than anything else. But I have one more thing that I'd like to present as a hindrance this week. Before I do so, just so I don't leave myself no time, let me tell you about this gospel tract. It's titled Two Kinds of Death. A death above or a death below. This gospel tract tells us how we can know what kind of death we're going to have. Ephesians 2:1 says, "And you hath he quickened who were dead." If there was someone you knew that could raise people from the dead, that would be a friend you'd want to be near to, wouldn't you? That's a better life insurance policy than you name the insurance company. I'd rather be close to Jesus. Well, this gospel tract tells about that. You can order it for free on our website, BibleTractsInc.org. Two Kinds of Death. And just like all the other tracts I've mentioned this week, they are free. I want to talk about not self-confidence, not purity, not wisdom. I want to talk about our fourth and final, for this week at least, hindrance to using tracts. I want to talk about compassion and passion. I heard a man say recently, I was at a missions conference, wonderful conference. It stirred my heart, it convicted me. It's always good when I get punched in the throat with conviction. Preachers need preaching, so please understand it. Any time that I point one finger out, I've got three coming back my direction. But he said this, missionary to Nicaragua, laboring, working, seeing people come to Christ. And he said this, everyone here that has accepted Christ has done so for two main reasons. Because of Christ's compassion and passion for the world, and a person or a man's passion for you. Every one of us, though we may not know their name, maybe you got saved because of a tract, every one of us has come to Christ as a result of Christ's passion for the lost and a person's passion for the lost, meaning you. Maybe it was a Sunday school teacher. For me, it was my junior church leader on a Wednesday evening in Monterey Bay, California, that led me to Christ. I'm so thankful for his passion for the lost, but his passion was a reflection of Christ's passion and compassion. And due to time, I'm not going to go deep into the English language and really dime out and dive deep into compassion and passion, but I think you understand the words. But I want to share this verse with you, Matthew chapter 9, verse 36. Likely a familiar passage, but I'll read it anyhow. Matthew 9:36, but when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Then saith he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. There's so many application points that could be made here, but I will very shortly and succinctly boil what I want to say down into this. After reading a passage like this, There are two things that I feel I must do and that I call you to this week. And this is the point. This is the Alpha and Omega of this week, the beginning and the end. This is why I am talking about this subject. Yes, it doesn't make sense for our gospel tracts to sit on our shelves unused, printed but useless because no one will use them. Practically, yes, that is true. But at the end of the day, my desire is for you, for the cause of the Great Commission, for the cause of the gospel, for the cause of reaching that soul nearest you who is nearest hell. Jesus said, "The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few." He said this as a result of a compassion that he was moved to after seeing the multitudes. And in verse 38, "Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest." I am called to, I am challenged. I want to commit my life to. And because of the calling God has placed in my life, not in a full-time service, I mean as a Christian, I wanted to do better about two things, and these are the two things I leave you with today. Yes, compassion, passion, all those things. But here's what I want to say to you. We must pray, and we must participate. Every one of us should have on our prayer list. It was commanded by God. He's talking to his disciples. Do you want to be a disciple of God? Do you want to be one who follows him? Do you want to be called a Christian, a little Christ-like? Do you want to be that? WWJD, he would pray. That's what he would do. He would pray. And he says to pray to the Lord of the harvest. Pray to God. God, would you please send forth laborers? And then consider, are you supposed to be a laborer? Each of us in our own corner of the world. I cannot reach where you are. I have been called to where I am. I cannot. Should I live 1,000 lifetimes? I could not. There are too many listeners to this program. I could not reach your people for you, your friends, your family, those you will cross paths with. But you can. You can pray. You can participate. You can do something practical. Like go to BibleTractsInc.org and order tracts for free right now. Friend, thank you so much for listening. My prayer as always is simply this, that you'll have a great day for his glory. I'm Micah McCurry. You've listened this week to Bible Tract Echoes. I'll look forward to, with great anticipation, to talking to you soon. God bless.
Thank you for tuning in to Bible Tract Echoes, the radio ministry of Bible Tracts Incorporated. Want to see our gospel tracts and other resources? Visit us online at BibleTractsInc.org. That's BibleTractsInc.org. Or follow us on social media to learn how you can partner with this ministry. Thanks again for listening. May the Lord richly bless you as you live for Him.